Hi, mates. My name is Lee Sullivan, affectionately known as Captain Lee, not only because of this hat, but because of what it has in it. I always have an inscription in this hat. It's from a very famous poem. It says, "It matters not how straight the gate, how filled with charges the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." I'm here to make you the captain of your soul. Are you in a relationship that needs to be changed or ended? Are you in a job that you really don't want to go to, but it brings a paycheck, and that's the only reason you're there, because there is otherwise no joy? Are you in the circumstances that you really want to be in? If not, by clicking below, you can change that. I have studied under the greatest transformational masters on earth. Jack Canfield, co-writer of Chicken Soup for the Soul. Dr. Richard Bandler, co-conventor of NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, the same modality that you've heard Tony Robbins use. That's the basis of everything he does. I have studied under Francisco Carrillo, inventor of the Pomodoro technique, the most revolutionary time management system created to date, and very, very, very useful. You need to find out about it. It helps you manage your life. And also, my friends Sandra Vesterstein and the late Michael Bennett, who have created dream sculpting based somewhat on the ideas of Disney. He had a process to create all those awesome dreams and rides and things that you see at Disneyland. There was a process there that he inspired his Imagineers to use that allowed them to think of things that seemed impossible and to create them. And they do the same thing for your life. I put all this stuff together and I have it based on the ancient wisdoms of the 7 Hermetic principles. And so you're going to get a smattering of all that stuff, because I want you to know not only that it works, but why it works. And it's not a matter of belief. It's a matter of natural law. It's the law. I used to work in an institution, and so I have kind of a story for you about how powerful these success principles are. I was in charge of rehabilitational services for 2 open dorm living units in the California prison system. This particular day, there was a gangland stabbing and death in another institution, and we all know that when that happens, there's going to be a riot, especially in the open dormitories, because we don't have cells to put them in to keep them away from getting at each other. So going home, contemplating the inevitable riot and the people that I was in charge of, because I really do love everybody on earth, and I want them to be treated fairly. I wanted them to have the life that they could, and if they were a danger to the public, I wanted them to stay right there in jail. But while they're in my charge, I wanted them to be safe. And I cared enough about them to ask my boss, can I go down and try, let me just have a couple of large groups, see if I can do something to stave off this inevitable riot. And he looked at me like he thought it was crazy. He says, the TAC team is already here. Everybody knows what's going to happen. There's nothing that you can say that's going to change that. And I said, well, what if I just give it a little shot? You know what I mean? Let me just give it a little shot. And he said, no. He said, there's nothing you can do. I said, okay then, what if I do it on my own time? He said, if you want to waste your time, you can do that, but I won't pay you. I conducted 2 large groups, 1 on each of my living units. The riots occurred. We have 12 open dorm living units, and the whole institution went up. Every dorm rioted, except 2. What happened that night was I went down and I told them, I'm going to give you a gift, the very precious gift, and that gift is you. And I encapsulated the core of the success principles. And the result was, well, you heard the result. There was no riot there. The impact was so substantial and so immediate that 150 prisoners decided to take a different turn in life because of the success principles. Their collective and individual behavior changed because of the success principles. These are the same principles that you're going to get. Click below. I think that you're going to love the process and love your life afterwards. So think about it. What prison are you in now? Is your job a prison you can't get out of because you need the paycheck to pay the rent, but you don't like being at work? When you look at your future, do you see nothing but the same and you're not happy with what the same is? What is your prison? If the success principles can make real prisoners free up their future by not being incarcerated longer for participating in a riot, if the success principles will make our bottom line in the prison a lot better because we don't have to pay for extra medical expenses. On my living units, there was no staff overtime writing reports. There was no additions of time at $4,000 a year, $4,000 a month per ward that caught time. It saved us a lot of money and a lot of work with the same principles that you can have now by clicking below. Well, that wasn't the end of the story. A year later, the same thing happened and we were in exactly the same situation. And this time on the way out from work, my boss comes to me and he says, do you think you can give them that same message that you did last year? And of course I said, yes, I'm on this earth to try to make things better for people. I really am. And he said, and I'll pay you this time. I said, well, cool. But if he didn't pay me, I would have done it anyway. Because that's why I am here. I'm here to help them. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help me. I want the world to be a better place. And I know it starts with me. And I try to touch people and help it also pass it on. So as it came to pass, every living unit in the institution, out of the 12 living units, every last one of them rioted. Except 2. For the second time in a row. This time, it resulted in a commendation and a transfer to central office on a training assignment in Sacramento, California. The success principles work. They work for me, they work for the wards, they can work for you. They can get you out of the prison that you are in right now. And most of us are in some kind of confinement that we're not really happy with. But we can change that. We can change that. If you click below, you're going to get my workbook. It's got exercises in it that you can work with people also that's going to be in the same community with you, and a Facebook webpage that I've created just for you. You're going to also get a brief summary of the Hermetic principles, because I believe that it's important that you understand the core of what makes the world work. You're going to get a short, brief explanation of NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. It also helps cement all these modalities together into a single process. They'll get you from where you are now to where you want to be. So there's a lot of stuff there, and you get this for only $499. Oh, but wait a minute, that's the regular price. If you enlist today, that's going to be reduced to $199. I would like everybody to take advantage of this process. $199. And not only that, you're going to get my wholehearted support in the transformation that you want to make. Now, if you've already attended some of my programs, I have deep discounts. If you attended the 14-day Take Back Your Life challenge, the price goes all the way down to $29 because I want you to continue the success that you've already started. And if you took the one-day seminar on the R Factor, I'm going to reduce it to $39. So if you've attended one of my programs, you have a deep discount, and there's going to be a button for you to pick depending upon your level. So do it today. End your life in whatever your prison is. Take it from the wards who are living a better situation. Those prisoners are living in a better situation today. Not only did they not riot, my behavior reports went down drastically after they got the tools that you're going to use. So quit below. Quit now. Quit for the rest of your life to be better. See you in the webinar.